right in the heart with a silver bullet.
Yeah. I think they plotting on me. Don't bite their feet when they enter the lab. I feel a force there. Think I ain't looking. Maybe cause I'm focused. No hands out for the hopeless. Funny bullets, I caught some shots. Another piece of the puzzle connecting dots. You can find the truth of laughter and liquor. One more shot to an empty bottle. If she gon' walk there like a model for me, like I don't see her intentions all in my scope. At a time we were just friends, with advice to land. Not special, I was dead broke, but we still got hope. Don't put my words, just pack the issue that raw dough. Just pack the issue that raw dough. Pack the issue that raw dough. To the people that listen to my people, they know that I do care. Put your hands in the air, rockin' side to side. Now my work, yeah, it's time to ride. Where my niggas at? My niggas ain't my niggas no more. Push me to the back, label to change up his swag. I do it for us, I'm pro-black. Don't rock it the shit, yeah. Wouldn't be so all type of African shit. Just rock a table fade, swagger tailor-made. Polo collars and fly kicks. Just polo collars and fly kicks. Exclusive shit, not get wig. Keep it coming, just don't stop. The revolution starts with shots. Bang.
I'm respectful to my people, and I want to represent my people, and I don't want to be a bad representative. I can't be blind, make the blind lead the blind, they all follow me in.
Now my mama said, baby, act like you got sense. They act like I only act right for Lent. Been living in purgatory, but I'm nosing for heaven. Not sure if I'm getting in, cause I ain't paid a reverend. Who looking at me when I ain't looking, judging my character? I can't put down my guard on this planet, back in the camera. Ready for my close-up, the lens gets bigger. Won't play me on BET, cause I am not a nigga. My heart is like a powder keg, ready to explode. Smell like strange food, cause I'm America's cologne. It started with the hello, think you're a nice fellow. You're ballin' like Carmelo, you treat you like Othello. L.A.R. with a star, turn a rapper to a prophet. Bulletproof 306, keep your hands in your pocket. Jordan rules for my life, you contain them, can't stop them. I'm niggas sky high, so the clouds can't drop them. My life is like a miracle, my words are just imperial. I'm edible, I'm audible, I'm digital, I'm visual. Spit like Komodo, go like Bruce Lee, Roy beating the meanest, baddest mofo in the dojo. Life is so amazing and raps like Jesus. They said hip hop is dead, but today look like Easter.
Now I wake up in the morning, I'm black and handsome as ever. However, you see me as strange fruit, will it ever happen, not again. A crook is just a homicide, he know it's self-defense. But since I'm black and since he white, he got no common sense. That's 1969, and he ain't Jesus Christ. He ain't coming back on Easter, he ain't got a second life. You know I'm right? Hold up, look. Now the sirens in my window here, pull it over. License and registration, gun ain't never in the holster. Plus, that man black too, he wanna act too. A nigga with an attitude and a badge too. A couple tattoos, hoping I act a fool so he can squeeze too. But it ain't nothing different, they the same thing. They pull him over, he gon' get the same thing. Maybe 2 up in his brain, 21 gun salute. Last words was I'm a cop, he last heard fuck you. And he ain't coming back, you know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, y'all say goodbye. Everybody cry, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, everybody cry. Y'all say goodbye, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, I'm gone. And now she on welfare. Lost here, daddy can't live there. So we ain't there, and life ain't fair. But the food free, and the rent cheap. His roaches where you sleep. He still came around and taught you baseball. Bought a Barbie doll, he raised all of y'all. And now the kids adults, they both up in the court. She want that child support, he on that child support. But he ain't never taught him baseball, and she ain't never bought him Barbie dolls. They both never there, no, never, not at all. Saying, well, pull your pants up, go while your ass out. They looking back saying, why, y'all ain't ever in the house? You got it backwards, don't you? I'm saying, cause we still preaching unity. And it's supposed to be family first in community. Got it in church to $1 for your blessing. We made in God's image, thinking with Satan's mind. They got us crossed up, now Judas is Caesar. America bury me, but I ain't coming back for Easter. Yeah, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, y'all say goodbye. Everybody cry, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for each to everybody cry. Y'all say goodbye, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, I'm gone.
All right. Sorry about that. Let me get this right. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. Y'all see the thumbnail, man. Ray, thank you very much, fam. I want to cuss all day long, but I'm not. So, hopefully, let me know if the music is a little too loud or not. I can't tell from where I'm sitting because I'm really doing this on the fly at the crib. But we're going to get into this topic. Y'all see all these shenanigans that went on with 50 Cent, his oldest son, and his oldest son's mother, in the media, in social media. And I find this interesting because it's a classic case of being brainwashed. But not only being brainwashed, loving it. Like sometimes people don't realize, some people are brainwashed and some people love it. Like some people are like, yes. Because here's the issue. There comes a point in life when you know you've gone too far, when you're in the wrong, you're dead wrong, and you can't apologize. You walk around as if you did nothing wrong. You can't apologize. So, I know this young man is brainwashed because obviously he doesn't see any of his actions as a problem. None whatsoever. So, the conversation you had with Choke No Joke, you don't see the problem in how you conducted yourself. Don't see the problem. Getting you and your mother going in on Choke afterwards, you don't see the problem. The world, like, yo, you out of pocket, you still don't see the problem. Going to social media and TMZ, you don't see the problem. And then on top of that, getting a response and putting on this long diatribe back on social media. You obviously don't see the problem. And since, brothers are here to help, brothers like myself, I'm going to tell you what it is. Young fella, it's obvious that in your mind, your dad is the bad guy. It's obvious that in your mind, your dad is the villain. It's obvious that there's no respect and no love there. And the problem with that is the whole world can see it. See, they were years and years and years and years when people were going, you know what? It's 50 Cent. He's got to be the bad guy. And because he's always getting into it with people. And then look, he got into it with his baby mother and his son now. See, it's always him. He's a problem. It's like, maybe he is. But let's just go with that. He's a problem. So if he's such a problem, what do you do to get rid of problems? You either cut them off or get away from them. So here's the problem. If he's such the bad guy and he's such the villain, and you didn't want no parts of him and you didn't rock with him, why rock with him now? Why want to be around him now? You spent at least a decade of your life like, I don't mess with you. Nah, I'm through with you. So okay. So when you get a response, is I understand, I get it. You through with me, we done. No problem, I'm out. Now you get this, wait a minute, I was just playing. Well, who's playing? Like who's really playing? So a lot of people don't want to deal with the reality. And the reality is, you can't tell somebody, you can't show somebody that you don't like them, you don't love them, you don't respect them, and they act and actually want them to go chasing you around for a lifetime. There's gonna come a point where they're gonna stop. So this is advice for all you brainwashed children. We're gonna get into some things. Tip number 1. Leave your parents out of it. What could you have done to make the situation good? Because see, a lot of y'all, you brainwash kids, y'all don't think that y'all have to do anything. Everybody has to cater to you and walk on eggshells around you and spoil you and make sure you're okay, 25 hours a day. And, you don't have to lift a finger because I didn't ask to be here. I'm special. You need to love me no matter what I do. So you don't have to fix this situation either. You see, they got to pick up a telephone and call you. You don't have the responsibility to pick up a telephone and call them? Interesting. They got to show you all the love in the world. Do you have to reciprocate and show some back? No, not really. Just, I can do what I want to do. Interesting. Because see, this is the part of the brainwashing. Because what could you have done differently? Maybe you could have been nicer. Just a little bit nicer. Because a lot of y'all act like y'all got a problem, but y'all don't. And the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is this. There are a lot of you young men and women who are brainwashed, and y'all love it. When y'all talk about y'all traumas and it was toxic, y'all really don't say much. Y'all really don't. What happened? You don't know what happened. Okay, tell me what happened. Well, I just can't just tell you what happened because you just don't understand what happened. If you tell me, I can pretty much put it together and understand what happened. But I don't think you're capable of understanding what happened to me because a lot happened. It's hard to go through. So you gonna talk about it? It's just too much. Okay. So you just out here acting a fool for a reason? No, you know why I'm acting a fool? No, I don't. So why are you acting a fool? I'll tell you. Really? Why? Why? When I was 8, my dad took my last Oreo. Please tell me it's something like he smacked you into the ocean with a shark or something. Like just took your last Oreo. That's it. Told you didn't understand. It's like, okay, we're going with this nonsense. Because a lot of y'all don't have a real issue, a real struggle. You've been brainwashed to the point that you made an issue more than what it was because you needed, you needed something. You needed to be a victim. You needed to be the person that was in in dire straits. Like, oh my God. Just like the young man said, I jumped out of a 2-story window. You ain't care about that 2-story window when you was asking for $300 sneakers years later. I need the newest Jordan that came out that's gonna come out next week. How much are those shoes? They're $300. How many pairs you got? I got 50 pairs right now. I need another pair because I had to jump out of a 2-story window. Like, stop it. Stop it. So it's advice to you brainwashed children. Stop, making your struggle more than what it was for sympathy. Really, so you could get stuff. It's very manipulative. And people look at you sideways because you're being manipulative. People have been through far, far worse adversity than you brainwashed children, and y'all just don't see it. So that's advice for you. Stop it. The other thing that is permeating in these situations. If you're gonna make a decision, you gotta stick to it. See, a lot of you brainwashed children, y'all act like, I hate to say this, y'all moms, where y'all could do right and wrong, but it don't count as long. Like, see, right and wrong. They taught you right and wrong, but all of a sudden you got this sociopathic idea that if I do wrong to this person that I don't see as a good person, my wrong don't count. It does. So if you're disrespectful because I don't like them because I think they're evil, but that doesn't count what I did. It counts. It counts. Because this sociopathic moral compass of I could do right, but I could do wrong, and I see I want it this way, but then I want it that way. This double-minded ethics and morals gotta go. Cause y'all crazy. Cause you can't say I don't want money, I want a relationship, but I don't have enough money. Those things don't go together. And you got people like, why don't you just give them some more? No. You brainwashed kids are entitled, man. And here's the advice that I got to give you about the entitlement. Since you children are brainwashed, and usually y'all feel like y'all entitled because y'all owed something, normally from y'all fathers. Here's some advice for you. Won't you tell your father when they can meet the you owe me protocol? Like, what is you owe me because I said so, because my mama said so. So if you do these, we're good. Because y'all never have a actual, if you do this, and this, we're good. Y'all don't have that. Y'all don't have a bottom line. It's always a moving goalpost with y'all. So it's nothing that these guys could do that can make it right, because you never wanted to make it right because you brainwashed. You just want drama. And this is why I'm saying what I'm saying about, a lot of y'all are brainwashed because you actually think you're the victims of discipline when you're the one bringing drama. See, you're lying to people and using people, and then you're getting reprimanded for lying to people and using people, and then turn right around and go, I'm the victim. No, you're not. You're not the victim. But people want to play this game. So here's my advice. Write down this what was done to you, and write down what you did in response, because it was never you. You were never the reason why something happened. You're always the victim. So write down, this person did this to me, and then write down subsequently what you did in response to that. And what you're gonna come to find out is the offense, that the way you were offended, the length that you went to how can I say this, to stand up for yourself, you went far and beyond what you should have. This person cussed me out, so I disrespected him for 3 years straight. You know what I'm saying? Right. So do these excuse me. So when you go 3 years straight of being disrespectful, do those 3 years count against you? Do you say to yourself, yo, okay, I got cussed out this time, but man, I kept a week of being disrespectful, okay. But 3 years, that's way excessive. What do I have to do to fix that? Because see, a lot of y'all don't think that through. Y'all don't never say, yo, I got to fix something. And the vast majority of y'all do, because y'all brainwashed. So write it down, man. Write down what people did to you and write down your response. And find out who's the one that's in the wrong. You know. Now, the other advice I would give the brainwashed children is this. Stick with your team. How about that? Because a lot of y'all brainwashed, y'all team mama did no wrong, daddy did all wrong. And then, unfortunately, when y'all get older, you get grown, the child support wear off, you and your mom's relationship goes down the tubes. Then all of a sudden, now you want to be, I just want to talk to you, Dad. I want to have a relationship. No, bro. Stick with that team. You made that choice. Stick with your team. You don't get You don't get to ride the whole thing out and be part of the problem. And then when it's too hot for you, you want to go back. No. Because there's no trust there. Because a lot of y'all have done this where you and mom fall out, so you get cool with dad. You and mom get cool again. Then you flip the bird to dad. Dad backs off, and you and mom fighting like cats and dogs again. And then you want to run back to dad. And dad's like, "Look, I'm done. I ain't got time for these games. I'm sorry, but y'all gonna have to figure that out. Because I ain't part of y'all little back and forth love. I'm not part of your love triangle." See what I'm saying? So what goes on is ridiculous. So that's my advice. If you go pick that team, stay with it. You're not supposed to choose, for you younger kids, you're not supposed to choose one parent or the other. That's not supposed to be a choice. But if you make that choice, no, stay with your team. Because no matter which team you pick, they're not going to get it all right in your eyes. But stay with your team. Don't be team this person and you diss that person. And in the meantime, between time, you think, hey, well, I can go back to this other side anytime I want. No, you can't. No, you can't. Because you went too far. You went too far. Now, we're going to get into some other things that are far more important. Advice for you brainwashed children. Why don't you pay attention to your friends who have the same situation as you and see who's actually in the wrong? Because see, a lot of y'all are brainwashed kids, and y'all could have siblings that from a y'all can have half brothers and sisters, siblings from a different father. And you can see how your mom's manipulating and brainwashing your brothers and your sisters, or your brother or sister. But you can't see it being done to you. You can have friends and you looking at their parents like, Man, your mama is really landing on thick. She got you wrapped around her finger. And you can point out the wrong that's going on and how it's some BS, but when it's you can't see it. So when it's you, it's different. You're special. Just like when they tell you their situation is different and they're special. So my advice to you is basically, hey man, pay attention to your friends and maybe your siblings to see just how the game goes with you. Because you're no different than those other kids. You're brainwashed and you just don't know it. You think you got everything going your way, and you don't. Because a lot of y'all learn this too late. Some more advice for you brainwashed children. You need to learn some humility. Because truth be told, y'all are normally the wrong ones in the situation. But you never have enough humility to even take a look in the mirror and say, you know what? That was my fault. Y'all are some you brainwashed children are some prideful individuals. Too prideful. Like y'all prideful, y'all sometimes are proud to be ignorant. And happy to show you how ignorant you are. I'm very ignorant. I'm gonna show you. And it's like, okay. I hope you understand you're gonna show yourself at the end of the day. No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna show you. No. If you act just crazy, you gonna be the one at fault and in the wrong, and you're gonna have the consequences. So at the end of the day, it's some BS. So y'all need some humility, man. Learn humility, because just like your mothers go out, and what happens is a lot of times y'all have mothers who brainwashed y'all, and she's absolved the consequences. The courts don't tell them much. They're on the side. The police are on the side. The teachers are on the side, and she's doing a lot of BS. And what you're thinking, with some of you brainwashed children are thinking, well, this is normal, and you could do the same BS. And unfortunately, it don't work that way. You wind up getting a reality check. And when you get your reality check, it's not your mom's fault, it's your dad's fault. This wouldn't have happened if you would have done this. No. You got taught a bad habit. You thought it was normal. You went out to the world to try to do it, and the world smacked you in the face. And you don't understand it, because how am I doing something wrong? My mama does this stuff all the time. My mama lies all the time. Your mother's a liar. No, she's a good woman. No, she's a liar. She's a liar who happens to get away with lying. And the problem with that is that people talk about is all these criminal-minded kids who really don't have any morals or ethics, because they're brainwashed to believe everything is cool, anything goes. As long as I don't get caught, I can do whatever I want. And that becomes a problem, becomes a huge, huge problem. Because now, nobody wants to address this thing. These brainwashed kids think they're above the law. That's why they're out here carjacking and trying to run in people's houses and thinking that they're above the law, and they're out here doing drugs publicly because, hey, I can just do whatever I want. Like, okay. All right, see, the rules going to be different from you. Your mom might get away with a lot of stuff, but you're not. You're not. So now you go out there and you try to do it. Do whatever you feel like doing. And you try to take that same stance. I'm going to just say something and roll my eyes and roll my neck and just do this and get louder and louder and louder. And somebody going to give me my way. And it's like, no, you about to get jammed up. And people go, what happened? Why isn't this working? Because you're stupid and you're a nuisance. not gonna reward you for bad behavior. Excuse me. Sorry. But a lot of people are feeling like a lot of kids grow up with their moms who brainwash them, think you can get rewarded for bad behavior. Thus, the participation trophy generation. Oh, I just showed up and I put on a uniform. I deserve a trophy. No, you deserve to sit on a bench if you ain't earn a starting job. You don't get a trophy for that. Just for the record. You deserve to be proud of yourself if you contribute, but if you don't, you ain't got nothing to be proud of. That's the reality of it. But these kids are brainwashed to believe, hey, they're above work, which becomes a problem. So in my opinion, we got a whole different set of problems. For you brainwashed kids, let me put this to y'all this way. My advice to you is put yourself in a future situation as a parent and ask yourself, would you actually parent the same way your mom does? Would you like if for you guys, if you wind up having a kid with a woman and you wind up having custody, would you keep telling the kid how much their mother doesn't like them? Would you do that? Because you brainwash kids become adults and become parents, and you don't want to do the same thing your mother who taught you all this drama does. You don't want to teach your kid how to hate the other parent. You don't want to teach the kid how to use the other parent. You don't want to teach, you know what, my mom told me I could just get everything I want out there, sucker. You wouldn't want your kids to do that to you. So you wouldn't teach it. So the behavior that you wouldn't teach to your kids if you had them is the complete polar opposite of the education you got in the home with your moms. Then at some point you gotta ask the question like, am I really right for the way I'm acting? And normally it's no. Normally it's a no. Because this brainwashing goes further and further out. Now, the other thing, advice for the brainwashed children. Stop using the tactics that you learned against predominantly your father on other people. Like, you don't like your dad, cool. That's your problem. Your mom's facilitating you hating your dad, that's a y'all problem. But if you go out in public and you see other men, grown men that could be fathers, and you disrespect them because you already taught it was okay to disrespect your father, so you disrespecting them, not a good idea. Because you're going to get your teeth knocked out. And nobody can say anything because it's like, yo, you deserve it because you're out of line. And for me, that's the issue with you brainwashed children. Because y'all don't know how to actually play your position and get in the right line. Get in the right lane. Y'all don't know how to stay in y'all lane. Y'all want to be grown, which is the next advice for brainwashed kids. A kid like Marquise, right, comes off as the type of kid that knows his mom does some BS, but he won't say a word. But his father could do the right thing, and he complaining about it. So here's the issue. Advice, like I said, for you brainwashed kids. Won't you put yourself in your mother's shoes and then go, what's right and what's wrong? Was this done with good intentions, or was this done with bad intentions? And you'll come to find out there's a lot of things that you learned that were normal that came from your mom having bad intentions. Here's the caveat. Now you think that your bad intentions don't count. Because as long as you can make up a villain, that I can be unfair with that person. They're evil. Which is not true. Because if you're unfair with a person who's quote unquote evil, they're going to seek revenge, which is a whole nother part of this process. Advice for brainwashed children. Ask yourself, at what point should your dad seek revenge? At what point did you go, okay, I cross, which line can you cross that you will understand your father getting so upset that he started beating the brakes off of you? What egregious thing could you do for that? And most of y'all don't know. Because y'all don't have a line. Y'all never drew a line and say, I do all these things, but I'm not doing that. Because when it comes to doing it to your dad, the sky's the limit of all the shenanigans you're willing to participate, partake, and even produce in. It's like it's ridiculous. But take it a step further. My advice to you brainwashed children is this. When you grow up and become adults, stay away from both of your parents. Like when you're on your own for a year, 2 years, don't communicate with either one of them. Just for a while. Just so you can deal with life and reality and how the world can actually be and how a cold place it can actually be, or how a cruel place it can actually be. When you do that, then come back. Because if you go out into the world and you see it ain't sweet, it ain't easy, you're going to come back for appreciation if somebody made it easy for you. Now, some of y'all are so selfish and entitled. Y'all think these people should make your whole life easy street. It's like, nah, that's not going to happen. But some of y'all do think that. Y'all spoiled. And, you know, I hate to say this, but a lot of you brainwashed kids, oh boy, I don't want to do this, but I got to do it. A lot of you kids who are brainwashed, y'all need to smarten up. A lot of y'all not that bright. And a lot of y'all are taught to not be that bright. A lot of y'all are when you're in school and you got homework to do and your mom don't want to help you with your homework, or she have you figure it out and you 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know, it's like, yo, I need help. But these type of people, they don't help. They don't help at all. They help themselves by helping you. So yeah, I just, sorry about that. They really ain't doing nothing for you. What winds up happening is you got people who are so brainwashed that they don't know how to do stuff for themselves. You know, that's a whole other thing. Like a lot of you brainwashed kids, y'all don't have a work ethic. Y'all don't do, like, I've seen it so many times where you kids who are brainwashed, y'all want to be athletes, but you don't want to work out. Because you don't have a work ethic. Y'all want to be entertainers, but you don't want to put in the work. You want to be rappers or singers, but you don't want to write songs or sing songs. You don't want to do none of that stuff. because you brainwashed, because you special. You ain't got to do nothing. It's like, okay. You know, y'all want to be doctors and lawyers, but you don't want to study. It's like, how? How are we going to do this? You have no real idea. So my advice for you brainwashed children is to actually put in some work. Because if you really dislike your fathers that much, and you really don't want to be bothered with them, why don't you make a living for yourself that's completely outside of them and their scope and their help? And guess what? You can tell them to F off whenever you want. Look, I don't need you for nothing. But see, a lot of y'all are brainwashed, and then when y'all realize y'all need the same fathers you disrespected, then y'all don't know how to fix it. Because like I said earlier, you don't have humility. It's a problem. Now on top of that, my advice for you brainwashed children, stop dating people, for you guys in particular, stop dating young girls who remind you of your mama. Because you want to being brainwashed by your mama. You know, you hate your dad. You want to dating a girl that reminds you of your mama. You love her. Then you wind up in the same situation as your dad. And then you got, and the girl you love so much is doing the same type of stuff that your mom would do with you. And now you're seeing your kid get brainwashed by their mom. And then, but some of the things that they're doing is the same things that were done to you. And you're like, whoa. Oh, this is like a tactic. Yes, it is. Just kids are used as a pawn and a weapon. Yes, it is. Was I that kid? Yes, you were. But you know what? Oh, shit. Sorry about that. It messed up my whole little MO. For now, I'm going to cut it short, man, because I got things to do. I've been having a rough, long day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
That looks like a job for Superman.
Spoken from the lips of the young or the old, bear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way. I guess I'm taking off the cape through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, plus when I'm drunk, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand farewell to friends and I just fly around. My super friends in Justice League, only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what, we had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I finished it. Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out, listening. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly.